can't dummy pesos. Get you sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she wanted like me cause her like she can't count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Ay, ay, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, huh? They act like they made us, huh? You know I'm icy in Vegas, this for them that hate us, huh? I make a lot of new money, huh? When it's not savers, you be liking my flavor, huh? I think it's cause ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist. Watch out for this, I never switch, I never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go! 10 Lobo, Recon, 132 fighter. Snap!
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. He'll have it first down past the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. 44 yards on the ground.
Giants, first down. First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Operating from the gun, Mulligan. And a throw right sideline is complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. I didn't offer
mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate the pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Mulligan to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20. At about the 21-yard line. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Got it. Set. 8, read.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Off play action, it's Minshew. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Hey, box truck, box truck.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brings up 2nd down at the 19-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 70, Indy. 80 weapons. Hey, Haywood. Get it.
They'll go play action here with Minshew. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Minshew throwing on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Throwing again. Mulligan. Catch made by Slayton. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, Mulligan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Check 50, check 50.
Coaching spill. Get ready.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Minshew. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Pilot, 64-2.
Throwing on 2nd down now, Minshew. Open man, it's Preston Williams. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Got his target, Samuel. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 45-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Minshew, 1st and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 7 yards on the play, and it's a 2nd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
50's the mic, 50's the mic. Come on.
Get it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Minshew. Open man is Samuel, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a Carolina 1st down on a gain of 16.
And the Panther 1st down.
Set, ready? 30 base.
Check, check, check. Watch tight end, watch tight
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Max 50, Max 50. Let's go, D.
On second down, Minshew. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Leonard Williams able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. So 3rd and long, here's Minshew. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. From 19 yards away. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
What we got? What we got? Hit it.
On the run, it's Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Let's go. 10 Tucson.
54. Mike 54.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. 2.
Looking to throw on second down. Mulligan. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Panthers take over
Let's go,
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of the gun is Minshew. To the right side, and he's got more complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's got his target. That's more. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
First down, Panthers.
Here we go. Set. 60 or.
Check my 50. Watch the out. Watch the out. Spawn.
Give me 2 jet bombers. Give me 2 jet bombers.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down.
Recon. 132 fighter.
Right back to him on first down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 28.
Set. Ready. 60.
This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's first and 10. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Minshew sets to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here. Now a play fake here on first down. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Keeps himself upright. And he's going to go down again. Leonard Williams picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Let go.
Slam, slam, slam.
They'll try to throw for it with Minshew. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
First down, Panthers.
On the ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
There you are. Not today.
Get.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. He's going to look deep for Moore. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
On 1st down, Mulligan. That's complete to Slayton. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a giant 1st down on a gain of 16. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 and a giant 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Brian Burns in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. Mulligan. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Barkley. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley. His 14th touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to regain the lead. McManus's point after is good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 2nd and 10, Minshew. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10.
Get set. Go.
Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
It's our time.
General West. Get it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. 17-17 the score, all even to this point as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
He would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
And an update from up in Foxborough. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Here we go. 30 base.
Line 54. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
5.
On 1st and 10, Mulligan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
He's not going to keep down.
Looking to throw. Mulligan. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Throwing on 1st down. Mulligan. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
You You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Switch. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Off the play fake. Mulligan. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Hey, shoot.
Now Minshew. He's going to look deep for more. He's got a man complete. 30, past the 20, touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 94 yards, and they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Mulligan. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. To throw again. Mulligan. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 29-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They run with Barkley on 1st down, and he gets about 5 out of it. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Crunch time, defense.
To throw on 2nd down. Mulligan nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg it, do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now.
On the set.
Mike's by 4.
Here we go. Here we go. Tyler, 64. Weak.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Hey, Delta.
He's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash.
Snap.
On first down, Mulligan. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Check, check.
Go, go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mulligan. This one is Slayton over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Barkley. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
6-6. Pull it high. Now go.
On 4th down, Mulligan. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Panthers will get the football back.
It's a turnover
On the double. 50, Mike 50. Mike 50. 61. Matchbox lights.
It's going to be a long day. Hatchet.
Hey, no, look, we got Mike 50. Mike 50, huh?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Now they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
2 times.
Get it.
Now they try the right side here. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Let's go now. 30 base.
Watch the slant.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Panthers, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they wanted desperately to finish at .500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and